Okay, guys, it's Friday. We got a couple ahead of us walking. Wait, come here. Come here. Here, right here. Good boy. So, first of all, guys, I want to apologize for my tirade yesterday. I was really pissed off at Linda because of her indifference over the fact that people are watching, and they'll use that information if shit hits the fan. I'm not too much worried about that shit happening now because it's law and order has been established pretty good. So here, right here, good boy. So you really don't have to worry about home invasions and nothing like that to this extent right now. But if shit hits the fan, then motherfuckers will act a fool. And you gotta meet that energy with the same amount of energy. In fact, you have to take it up a couple of notches. You know, most people operate under 20% aggression, like 70 or 80%, you know, civilized, you know. And they will go to uncivilized, which will be 80% uncivilized to 20% civilized. And most people, they're so used to being, you know, civilized that they can't just jump from one way into the other way on a dime. You know, it takes some transition time, you know. And so depending on who you are, and I'm pretty sure you guys know what I'm talking about, there are people that can go from 0 to 100 in a snap of a finger. They could be happy-go-lucky, smiling in your face, and whatever. And then somebody rubs them the wrong way, or says the wrong thing to them, or step on their shoe or something or whatever. They're ready to gut them like a pig, you know. People are like that. You know, I'm not to the extent, but once I realize I can read people really well. So my uncivilized threshold hovers right around 30% most of the time. And if I come up against somebody that's up there at 70 or 80%, I can go to 80% and match them at the snap of a finger. You know, even 90%, you know. You got to be like that if you want to survive in this world. You got to be able to up your percentage wise if shit hits the fan. And if you're too slow at upping your percentage, These people will eat you alive. You know, if they kick your door down and come in your damn house, you ain't got time to be bullshitting. You gotta be ready to rock and roll. Especially after shit hits the fan. I'm not talking about in civilized times. I'm talking about these fuckers have been scoping your house out since the collapse happened. They're scoping your house out and walking around, looking in your yard and whatever. They're doing preemptive shit, you know, looking to see what time you go and come and whatever. Looking to see when you're going to get food or when you're coming back from getting food and whatever. You know, if they have a situation where they're distributing food to people, you gotta go get the food, you know. These fuckers will wait till you leave to go get your food and whatever. You go get a box of food for them dropping some food off for, you know, rationing or whatever. While you going to get some food, they'll be done broke in your house and stole the little shit you got or whatever. And that ain't right. That's the way it is out here. So, you just gotta be careful, you know. You gotta be able to escalate. In civilized times, like now, you want to be able to de-escalate things or whatever. I work for a security guard company. I know how to de-escalate. You understand what I'm saying? That's my job, to de-escalate things. You know. But in after shit hits the fan, there's no rule of law. We're living in purge times, straight up purge. There's no rule of law. It's dog eat dog. You gotta recognize that shit. And you gotta stay in your house so you ain't involved in that and whatever until you can get yourself together and realize that it's the wild, wild west. And you gotta be ready to be killed out here in these streets. So that when you get out there, you're ready to rock and roll. You know. And once you're ready to rock and roll, you got to be able to and willing to take out all comers. You can't leave none of them alive because they will come back in numbers to even the score. I think that's a saying Shaka Zulu used to say, never leave an enemy behind. Or he'll come later to fly at your throat. Yeah, that's how he put it. Never leave an enemy behind. Or he will come back to fly at your throat. Yes. What that means is you got to crush the entire opposition, guys. You got to crush it. You got to be ruthless. You can't be civilized. You got to be an animal. You got to turn into a savage. Because you'll be living in a savage world and there won't be no room for compassion for people and whatever. Because they won't give you no compassion. They won't care. You guys have seen the videos of these assholes that are talking about robbing the stores and whatever and taking the food from you or robbing your houses or whatever. You know what the mindset of these assholes are or is. You know what their mindset is. Most of these people, these ignorant motherfuckers have been black, you know, and they've been women. Women talk shit and they run their mouth. But that's how they feel. They're entitled. They feel like what's yours is theirs and what's theirs is theirs. That's how they feel. That's their mindset. They don't have no remorse about it. You know, you listen to people on the internet. You watch a YouTube. You watch Jerry Springer show. You watch Maury Povich. And you hear how these people are. They're quick to fight. The white people and the black people, they're quick to fight, to use violence. It only take them a little bit of provocation and they're jumping across stage, ready to claw each other's eyes out. This is the kind of people you're going to be dealing with. You know, unfortunately, most of you saw was the people with black people. The black people do this, talking that shit. You know, it's mostly black people. It's embarrassing. It is totally embarrassing. But it's a fact. That's how they are. And it's not just black people. White people, Chinese people, all people, human beings, period. When it comes to shit hits the fan, they're all going to have that mentality. When they get hungry and their kids are hungry and they're out of food and out of water and they're sick, well, if they done drunk some bad water, they're not gonna be a threat. They're gonna be too damn sick to fuck with you. But if they're able-bodied, watch your ass out. Watch out, because they're coming. They're coming for your stuff, and they will show you no mercy. They will show you no mercy. Believe that. Please believe that. These people are ruthless. And I'm talking about the white people and the black people. See, you guys watching the videos on the internet and you see all these black people acting a fool. And because white people got better sense than to act that damn stupid, they're not going to show their hand. You understand what I'm saying? But they can be worse. And if that's the situation where it gets to that point, you've seen the Jerry Springer show. You see those white people run across stage, throwing chairs and shit, and getting into brawls. You guys seen that shit. You guys think that people are civilized because you haven't been around these kind of people. You've been filtered from them. You've been sheltered from them. You got laws and things in effect. They'll lock these people up. But that's the only thing that's keeping them civilized, guys. That's the only thing that's keeping them civilized. Once that's not a threat, the primal part will come out of them. And you don't want to be on the receiving end of that. I've seen how evil people can be. And I know what lurks right up underneath the surface of people. And believe me when I tell you guys, it ain't pretty. It definitely ain't pretty. And you white people that are out here living in nice neighborhoods, you got your finances in order, you got your shit together. You never had any situation with these ghetto fucking people. When I say ghetto people, I mean white people too. There's ghetto white people out there too. But you never come in contact with them because you've been sheltered. You don't realize what these people are capable of. You're thinking, I'm living in a white neighborhood and whatever. People come to the store. There are white people there, but some of those people are wolves in sheep's clothing, you know, and they will take it up that 80% notch, maybe even 100%. And if you're not up there with them, you're going to be a victim. Plain and simple. The person made a comment on my video, my last video, that worried about collateral damage. If I use my AR-15, if somebody breaks through my door, I said I'm going to start shooting. Linda knows to stay down low. Cold's already going to be low. That is the correct response when this law and order has taken a hiatus. That's the way you got to be if that happens. I'm already there at 80%. It's just waiting to come out. You understand what I'm saying? But I do have a 20 gauge shotgun. I'm listening to what he said, and it made sense. I'm gonna modify my situation. I usually sleep with my AR-15 within arm's reach of my bed to where I can bring it to bear instantly. And but I'm gonna get my shotgun. I got a 20 gauge, and I'm gonna have it locked and loaded and ready to go. And that's gonna be my weapon of choice, because he made sense. I'll be less effective, but I'll have the element of surprise. And with 20 gauge, I don't have to, it's not a pump shotgun, it's a repeater. It's a semi-automatic. Fast as I pull the trigger, rounds will come out. And I'll load it with buck shots, the double buck shots, whatever. Maybe a few slugs toward the last part of the magazine. I'm gonna start with a buckshot, so that way nobody will get hurt or whatever. But I'm gonna completely unload it. I'm gonna do a mag dump with it. There's gonna be a lot of fire coming down the barrel of that gun when I do use it, whatever. Because my mindset is I don't want any survivors. I don't have time to deal with the bullshit, court and everything or whatever, being sued or whatever. You came into my fucking house. You crossed the line. You see me going and coming every day. You see me. You see who I am. You look me in the eye. And if you see weakness in that, or cowardice and whatever, you're making a mistake, because you must peep some of that bullshit when you look at me and you think, this guy's a punk, this guy's a pussy, we can take him. Oh, you don't know how wrong you are. You don't know how wrong you are. Anyway, that's all I gotta say on this one. I don't know if you guys agree with me or not, And hopefully it don't take a situation where somebody has home invaded you before you come around to my way of thinking. But you got to be prepared to get there, because this ain't no joke, guys. This is serious. If you're the man of the house, you may have to take one for the team. You may have to load these people up with bullets and suffer the consequences later, if there are any consequences to suffer. Because without rule of law, there's no law. Just gonna come in no court, no trial, none of that bullshit. You just got a corpse you're gonna have to clean up and remove from your house, and deal with the aftermath. Because there's no coroner gonna come to your house and remove that damn body. Because you're gonna be shot into pieces or whatever. There's nobody gonna come and get them. There's no ambulance. You're gonna have to remove them yourself. And hopefully you don't get injured in the exchange, because there won't be a emergency to come and treat your wounds or your family's wounds. So you're on your own. That's all I got to say. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys on the next one.